So, guess who's back, bitches?
This is a Hindu painting. Again, we see the four rivers converging to the center. The Garden of Eden was also said to have four rivers.
I am not doing a recap this time, as you can just go see the others, as I will link them in the description if you're new to Captain Cray Cray the Flat Earth Mountain Tree Man. For everyone else, let us continue on our journey into the mind of madness.
I want to mention that in most of these depictions of Mount Meru and the Tree of Life, there's reference to the underworld.
I wanted to address a few people who think this guy is perhaps telling us a story about his D&D fantasy world. Spoilers! He isn't. I truly wish he was, because this shit is bananas.
The underworld is where we want to go.
Hell yeah, man! It's where all the good music goes.
They've tried to confuse us by telling us heaven is up high and hell beneath our feet.
And I'm telling you that chances are they don't reel either way. But I am interested in this idea of sky hell. You get tortured, but bugger me, it's a lovely view.
This is the reverse of truth. We want to go down under. That is where we will find heaven.
You heard it here first, folks. Australia is heaven. Makes sense, really. Drinking beer and hanging out on the beach all day is pretty much my idea of heaven.
Where we must go to so we can exit this matrix and into a land of paradise.
He used the word matrix a lot. Like, a lot. But never defines it, and considering his love for taking works of fiction and presenting them as evidence, I've got to go with it's the Matrix. In fact, he's probably so insane he actually thought that Reloaded and Revolutions were good. Absolute insanity.
Plato described Atlantis as being shaped like three concentric circles of land divided by water, the shape of a bullseye.
A philosopher described a fictional location? Well, let me just drop all of my shit and sign me the f*** up. We're gonna go looking for the physically impossible heaven underworld, aren't we?
Mount Meru is said to be an invisible mountain.
You can't prove my invisible pink unicorn doesn't exist. Checkmate, atheist.
René Dalmal, a French writer...
French? Well, that instantly discredits him. Something cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Penned an unfinished novel in 1952 in which his characters theorized.
Do you ever stop and think that maybe, just maybe, a work of fiction is just that, a work of fiction? You even use unfinished works of fiction. It's like you're going out of your way to find anything that is even tangentially related to your nonsense. Oh wait, that's exactly what you're doing. Never mind.
That Mount Meru, what he calls Mount Analog...
How do you know it's the same place if it's got a different name, Riri? ...
is real and located at one of the poles. In the book he calls the mountain the door to the invisible.
Mountains, known for their door-like properties.
One of the characters proposes that the mountain itself is invisible because it's made of a material so dense that it bends light.
I'm going to introduce you to another object that's so dense it bends light. You! Oh, sorry. Sorry, I meant a black hole. And I'll tell you what wouldn't be here if there was a black hole at the North Pole. The North Pole. The South Pole. You, me, the Earth. Probably our entire solar system, at least as we know it. A coin-sized black hole with the mass of Earth would certainly do the job of killing everything on Earth and basically destroying the planet. So one the size of a mountain would have a considerable impact on any nearby stellar bodies. Essentially, what I'm saying is, no, that's stupid, go to bed, no supper tonight.
This is considered a fiction work, but it still reveals to us many things about Mount Meru.
No, it doesn't. It could well be talking about a different made-up mountain. The fella who wrote it may indeed have come up with the same idea of a magic mountain all on his own. It's not exactly much of a leap to posit gigantic natural edifices could be woo-woo mystical. At least to the spiritually inclined / scientifically illiterate.
The substrata of this territory are composed of material which have the property of inducing curvature in such a way that the region is encased in a shell of curved space.
Curved space is used to describe the effects of gravity on space and time, and again, to have the effects you are proposing would require an object of such density that it would have a devastating impact on anything even remotely close to it. The comparisons to yourself is still obvious for me to make the joke again, so I won't.
The author gives this illustration along with these words. The character explains there would be an optical illusion where you wouldn't even notice the mountain there and would naturally bend around the force field of curved space. He says the shell of curvature which surrounds the island is not absolutely impenetrable. That is not always, not everywhere, and not for everyone. At a certain moment and in a certain place, certain persons, those who know how and wish to do so, can enter. What this tells me is we need to be vibrating at a high enough frequency as to where this mountain and area around the mountain will become visible.
Here's an in-depth demonstrational video.
Just like how the flaming sword put to guard Eden and Heimdallr in Norse mythology protects the bridge to Asgard, there is a force field around the mountain which will only let us in if we are of pure intent and heart-centered. So in the meantime, we must intend to create heaven on earth. Think only with our hearts and keep working on connecting with Earth's energy via sun-gazing and earthing.
Oh, please do spend more time staring at the sun, you dozy cunt.
We can communicate with the sun.
No, you really can't. But if the sun were to have the capacity for communication, you would literally be less than a speck of dust to the sun. A speck of dust whose existence is destroyed by the sun's very nature if exposed for too long. I'm pretty sure the sun actually hates you, mate.
Speak our intent towards it, and the same thing with the divine feminine energy that seeps through the soles of our feet when we earth.
Actually, that's just the feeling of stepping in a fresh dog turd barefoot. You just think it's divine because it's warm and soft.
When we ask for guidance and help to be filled with love, knowledge, and the wisdom of the ages, we receive it.
Wisdom. You. Good one. Oh, nice. I like it. I like the sense of humour. Thank you.
Ask and thou shalt receive.
Give me all your money on Patreon. Ooh.
Soon enough, we're going to be drinking from the Holy Grail. We will enter Hyperborea, the Garden of Eden, Atlantis, Shambhala, whatever you want to call it.
Sounds like shambolics to me. Zing!
For those of you who haven't yet, search blood over intent and place your blood besides ours.
So, blood magic. You're recommending people to cut themselves, essentially? Well, that just got pretty freaking dark now, didn't it? And by looking it up, I found out who you are, you crazy bastard. I'm not going to name your name because I really don't think you need the extra direct attention, but you are a woo peddler extraordinaire and apparent self-harm advocate. Holy shit.
This is the beginning of taking off the blinders this Matrix has put on us. Look it up, do some reading, and when you're ready, upload your blood over your divine intent next to the rest of ours.
Or don't, because this man is what we call in the business a fucking nutter.
We will all be blood brothers and sisters in this journey to Mount Meru. Hope you're all great, stay centered, I love you all.
And that seems to be it. I mean, the video goes on, but it has some other mental patients in it that we certainly won't be dealing with today. But yes, the last of our good friend here, at least in regard to this long-ass video. So to sum it up, the world is flat. There's an invisible, black hole dense, silicon mountain tree that for some reason hasn't killed us all and ultimately butt-fucked the solar system. Heaven is underground, hell is above, and you should totally cut yourself because of it. We have a lot of fun mocking stupids on this channel, but this might well be the first time I've dealt with someone who may be legitimately mentally disturbed, which I wouldn't have any issue with apart from the fact that he's advocating for people to self-harm, essentially, and that is fucked. Don't cut yourself, kids. No matter how much divine energy or Gaia pubes someone promises you, it's just not worth it. Stay safe, my people. Laters.